Resuming debate, the honourable member for Trinity-Spadina. Order.
Speaker, I'm splitting my time with a member of Burnaby Newminster. Mr. Speaker, in my first speech in Parliament a year ago, I spoke of how inspiring this House could be, and I spoke of a moment of pure inspiration almost 2 decades ago. That was in 1989, when every member of this House in every party did the right thing. Every member rose to their feet to support a motion by Ed Broadbent, the leader of the NDP. That motion was to end child poverty in this country by year 2000, to make poverty history. That is what every member resolved. Every member of this House, Liberals and Conservatives alike, rose to give unanimous support to the inspiring motion of the NDP. That moment gave hope and inspiration to a whole generation of Canadians. As a young activist at the time, a school trustee, working to help poor children in Toronto, I was inspired. I had very high hopes then as I worked to launch childcare programs that could help so many children and families in poverty. I had high hopes that every member of every party would keep their promise and honor this commitment to the children of Canada. I was very proud to be a member of the NDP and very proud to be a Canadian. I'm still very proud to be a member of the NDP because we have kept our promises. We have been steadfast and diligent. We have been tireless in pursuing the goals to make poverty history. But what about the other parties who pledged support at the time, Mr. Speaker? Both those parties have had ample opportunity to make poverty history. Both have been in a position of power. A Conservative majority, 3 Liberals majorities, a Liberal minority, and now a Conservative minority. Ample opportunity. In every Parliament, we, the NDP, have been willing to support progressive policies that would break the cycle of poverty. But both the Liberals and Conservatives could have taken or supported action over the years to make good on their commitment, the commitment they all made in 1989. They had the opportunity of power and the opportunity of a period of great prosperity and growth in Canada. But they have failed, abjectly and totally. Child poverty is a cruel reality in this country. It is a fact, it is a tragedy, it is real, and it is unpardonable. The Liberals and the Conservatives have had their excuses and their chance, and they have failed utterly and totally with no excuse. In a period of growth and prosperity, over 1 million children live in poverty. Thousands and thousands of children go to bed hungry. Thousands of children have fallen through the cracks of the prosperity gap. Thousands and thousands of children have been failed by this government today as they were failed by every government since 1989. Hardest hit are the children of single mothers, the children of immigrants, the children of Aboriginal Canadians. These children do not have a vote, and in this House, if it were not for the NDP, they would not even have a voice. The NDP has been steadfast. We have been unwavering. We have fought all the things that can break the cycle of poverty, narrow the prosperity gap, and build a better future and better economy. We have fought Liberals, we have fought Conservatives, and we have supported progressive policies when there was a chance of success. Childcare is one of the prime examples and is dear to my heart. I've seen the difference it can make in Toronto, in our immigrant communities, for women, for Aboriginals, and you can look around the world and see the difference it makes. Progressive societies that have eliminated child poverty are healthy societies with healthy economies and a healthy future. But when I stand in this House and urge support for national childcare, to entrench it at last in legislation as a cornerstone of Canada, I get howls of derision from both sides of the aisle. First, there's the shameful government response, the smug and idiotic claim that they're actually doing something with their bogus regressive tax giveaway of a few bucks a month. The smug response is based on the lame excuse that the Liberals did nothing to create new childcare spaces, so why should the Conservatives? But we should all ask the real question. Where are the spaces that people need so a single mother can get a job, can pay the rent, and feed her kids? This government is dishonoring the will of this House. It is not working to make poverty history. It seems to be working to make poverty permanent. Its policies are widening the prosperity gap and leaving so many children behind. On the other side of the aisle, when I stand in this House and urge childcare, I get the same shameful response from the Liberals, as they are trying to cover up their broken promises and utter failure in 3 majority governments. The Liberals stand up and blame the NDP. They say it is our fault that we defeated the opportunity for them to finally make good on childcare because we are not prepared to prop up their corrupt, bloated, visionless, do-nothing government forever. So we are to blame for 13 years of broken Liberal promises. And I remind this House that the Liberals only begrudgingly took action on childcare when they were in the minority, when they had to pay attention at last to the NDP. The voiceless had the voice, and the government had to listen. So they cobbled together a series of agreements for childcare, but didn't bother to enact and enshrine it in legislation. So their lame excuse for doing so little, so late, is to blame the NDP. Blaming the NDP for then Liberals failing is like blaming the children who go to bed hungry. What kind of hypocrisy is that? And what craven cowardice? And enough excuses already. So before anyone on either side of the aisle rises to debate this motion and haul out shameless excuses, they should try and listen to the voiceless, the children who are victims of the prosperity gap. And they are the ones that live in poverty in a prosperous country like ours. Mr. Speaker, I ask every member of this House, can they truly accept child poverty? Can they sleep comfortably knowing their own children may sleep comfortably, but knowing there are millions of other children that live in poverty? Can they sleep comfortably knowing they have failed to deliver when they had the chance? I dared every member of this House to insult this House and get up and spout the lame talking points that I hear so often here. I dare Conservatives to dishonor this House by claiming progress on childcare, because such claims show contempt for this House and for Canadians and for the heartbreaking number of children who live in poverty. I dare the Liberals to get up and blame the NDP to cover up their total failure in government. I'm ready for honourable members to accept the dare, Mr. Speaker, but I also welcome every member to take up the challenge, to join forces on this with the NDP, to show some sense and some basic decency. I challenge all members of Parliament to support this motion and work with the NDP to work earnestly and sincerely with us to make poverty history and to earn the right to sleep at night, knowing that we are working to ensure that no child in this country goes to bed hungry. Every member of this House can do that, Mr. Speaker, if they have the decency, if they have the courage, if they have the vision, and if they have the heart. We can start here and now by giving unanimous support to this crucial step forward. Join me and vote for this motion. I challenge this House. Every member of this House bears responsibility when a child goes to bed hungry. And every member has a chance to honor the past commitments of Parliament to the children of this country. So let's take the chance. Let's listen at last to the voice of the voiceless, the hungry child who should haunt this House. Let us change history, and let us start now.